What if I started using my summoning powers?
Taking high-speed anime airship battles and turning the intensity knob until it snaps off completely, Granblue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok delivers an absolute monster expansion for action RPG junkies. The iconic Skyfaring crew returns for a massive story-heavy campaign that unlocks right after clearing Proto-Bahamut, thrusting your squad into terrifying chaos difficulty content and high-stakes Skyrealm conflicts. The biggest gameplay game changer is the addition of powerful summons, letting you unleash screen-wiping primal beast strikes during frantic boss fights to turn the tide of battle. A massive wave of 6 brand new playable crewmates joins the roster, including fan favorites like Beatrix, Eustace, and Fedial, each bringing unique combo strings, flashy skybound arts, and distinct playstyles to master. Solo players get a massive upgrade with the Conflux mode, offering a challenging wave-based progression tower designed to test your character builds and reward rare crafting materials for ultimate weapon uncaps. Fighting giant multi-phase raid bosses in 4-player online co-op feels as fast, fluid, and chaotic as ever, demanding frame-perfect dodges and synchronized link attacks while visual particle effects explode across your screen. The sheer amount of endgame polish, side quest updates, and deep sigil customization ensures your loot grind never feels stale, whether you're flying solo through new solo challenges or gathering up your favorite squad mates to tackle brutal high-tier raid encounters with friends. This soaring expansion offers a non-stop adrenaline rush that keeps action combat fans thoroughly hooked.
Persona!
Balancing high school exams during the day while fighting terrifying shadow monsters inside a massive shifting tower at midnight remains one of the ultimate RPG power trips. Persona 3 Reload rebuilds the legendary 2006 classic, giving its dark supernatural story a stunning modern makeover packed with stylish menus, incredible voice acting, and smooth combat upgrade. You play as a transfer student joining SEES, a secret high school club investigating the Dark Hour, an eerie hidden hour tucked between days where normal people turn into coffins while grotesque shadows roam the streets. Daytime gameplay revolves around living a normal student life in Iwatodai, hanging out with friends, studying for midterms, and building social links that strengthen your inner personas. Once midnight hits, you head into Tartarus, a towering labyrinth crawling with deadly creatures. Combat receives a massive upgrade borrowed from modern entries, introducing the fast-paced shift mechanic to swap turns to allies alongside cinematic theurgy ultimate attacks that wipe out enemy waves with theatrical flair. Summoning powerful personas by pointing gun-like evokers at your own head keeps the iconic edgy aesthetic alive and kicking. Balancing your daily calendar between eating ramen with classmates and fusing monsters in the Velvet Room creates a wildly addictive life simulation. Combined with Shoji Meguro's infectious remastered hip-hop soundtrack, this definitive remake delivers a dark, stylish masterpiece that will steal 100 hours of your life before you even realize it.
Discover the latest installment in the Octopath Traveler
Taking a mobile spin-off, stripping away every trace of microtransactions, and converting it into a console JRPG might sound like an absurd gamble. But Octopath Traveler Zero pulls it off with serious swagger. You start by creating a custom hero whose cozy home of Wishvale gets burnt to the ground by 3 sinister villains holding magical rings. Instead of just wandering off on a standard quest for vengeance, you're tasked with literally rebuilding your hometown from scratch while traveling the world to recruit unique companions. Combat steps up the franchise's signature break and boost turn-based formula by giving you a giant squad of 8 characters divided into an active front line and a defensive backline. Swapping warriors mid-fight adds a crazy layer of strategy, turning tough boss battles into a rhythmic dance of poking enemy weaknesses until their defenses shatter. When you're not crawling through dangerous dungeons, you spend hours placing houses, shops, and farmland in Wishvale, watching your tragic burnt village transform into a thriving haven. Balancing deep combat tactics with cozy town building creates a comfortable gameplay rhythm that keeps you hooked through its massive story. Finding a stray citizen in a distant city, convincing them to move into your village, and putting them to work. Managing a shop gives this adventure a deeply personal heart. Combined with stunning HD 2D pixel graphics and an amazing soundtrack, this prequel delivers an incredible retro-inspired journey that proves removing paid mechanics can create an absolute RPG masterpiece.
on me.
Stepping out of the metallic walls of Midgar and into the massive, sunlit open world of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth feels like taking your very first breath of fresh air after being trapped inside a cramped elevator for 40 hours. Square Enix took the linear structure of the first chapter and blew it wide open, letting Cloud, Tifa, Barret, Aerith, and Red roam across sprawling regions packed with wild chocobos, ancient ruins, and endless side distractions. The real star of the show here is the refined action RPG combat system, which introduces dynamic synergy abilities that let two party members team up for ridiculous screen-clearing combo attacks. When you're not slicing through Shinra troopers or giant monster bosses, you're almost certainly getting hopelessly addicted to Queen's Blood, the in-universe tactical card game that will consume your life. From racing chocobos at the Gold Saucer to navigating the emotional roller coaster of Cloud's decaying sanity and Sephiroth's looming threat, the pacing strikes a brilliant balance between epic storytelling and pure goofy fun. Watching this iconic cast bantering while riding segways in Costa del Sol makes the heavy emotional moments hit even harder when the narrative turns dark. Packed with jaw-dropping visual set pieces, a massive orchestrated soundtrack, and incredible character synergy. This second chapter sets a monumental standard for modern RPG remakes while keeping longtime fans hooked from beginning to end without ever losing its magic momentum.
I made a decision. I will pursue that fate.
Exploring an open world that literally exists on the colossal frozen bodies of two titans battling in an endless ocean remains one of the single coolest premises in RPG history. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition takes the classic Wii RPG, cleans up its blurry textures, overhauls the character models, and polishes the user interface until the whole package shines like a pristine modern game. You play as Shulk, a smart young weapon researcher who picks up the mysterious laser sword known as the Monado to protect his colony from an invading army of murderous mechanical beasts originating from Mykonos. The real pull here is the sheer sense of scale, where running across sprawling grassy plains like Gower Plain feels endless. Right up until a terrifying level 80 giant ape crushes your low-level party because you accidentally stepped into its aggro radius. Real-time combat relies on positioning, auto attacks, and casting specialized arts, while Shulk's ability to see future enemy vision tags gives you a brief window to change fate before a teammate gets vaporized. Beyond the 100-hour main adventure, this definitive package bundles and the extra future-connected epilogue chapter, giving dedicated fans even more story content without requiring any tiresome grinding. Between Yasunori Mitsuda's incredible orchestrated soundtrack and an emotional storyline filled with wild sci-fi twists, stepping back onto the Bionis delivers an unforgettable grand-scale adventure that comfortably belongs on every single RPG lover's bucket list for many years to come.
I've learned of all the lives lost in the Rift War.
Swapping out intense real-time action slashes for strategic turn-based JRPG battles proves once again why Capcom's monster writing spin-off series deserves serious spotlight. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection throws you right into a brewing political conflict between the warring kingdoms of Azuria and Vermeil, who are both desperately trying to survive an ecological disaster known as the Crystal Encroachment. You play as the royal heir of Azuria, teaming up with Princess Eleanor of Vermeil to uncover deep secrets while investigating sightings of an allegedly extinct Rathalos. Instead of brutally turning every majestic wyvern into a shiny new pair of boots, gameplay centers on stealing wild monster eggs directly from dangerous nests, hatching adorable baby monsties, and raising them as loyal combat partners. Combat keeps the classic rock, paper, scissors, attack triangle, power, speed, and technical, requiring you to predict enemy attack patterns to pull off flashy double attacks alongside your monstie. The new Twisted Reflection mechanics let you tweak elemental genetics and gene grids even further, building weird, hilarious, or completely overpowered hybrid monsters that crush field bosses. Riding your favorite flying monsties across vibrant, massive fantasy landscapes, hunting for hidden egg dens, and triggering cinematic kinship attacks creates an absurdly addicting gameplay that never gets old. Blending dark political intrigue with colorful monster collection, this entry proves that taming giant, terrifying apex predators to fight at your side is infinitely more rewarding than simply turning them into armor.
Master, I promise that I won't let you down.
Combining high school sports drama with ridiculous anime super moves and deep RPG mechanics makes Inazuma 11 Victory Road the ultimate comeback for Level 5's cult classic series. The story mode centers on Destin Billows, a talented teenager who genuinely loves soccer but refuses to play due to past trauma, forcing him to take on the manager role at Nagumohara High to build a team from scratch. Instead of playing standard soccer, matches play out like high-stakes tactical RPG battles where running down the pitch involves managing stamina, picking defensive commands, and triggering over-the-top elemental special shots like summoning giant fiery dragons or cosmic tornadoes to obliterate the opposing goalkeeper. The sheer amount of content packed into this release is downright ridiculous, featuring over 4,500 playable characters across the entire franchise's history in Chronicle mode, allowing you to recruit and customize your absolute dream roster with unique gear and skill trees. Navigating player positioning during real-time matches feels surprisingly strategic, forcing you to think fast while balancing elemental matchups and special move points. Quality of life additions, seamless cross-play, and polished anime cutscenes turn what could have been a basic sports game into a massive, addicting campaign about friendship, perseverance, and sheer anime hype. Soccer fans and JRPG enthusiasts looking for something totally unique will fall in love with this colorful, ridiculous sports RPG that never takes itself too seriously while delivering non-stop theatrical hype from kickoff to the final whistle. Rescuing one of the greatest Nintendo 3DS role-playing games from dual-screen hardware and giving it a high-definition facelift turns out to be an absolute dream come true for classic JRPG fans. Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster brings back Tiz, Agnes, Ring a Bell, and Idea as they embark on an epic quest to cleanse 4 elemental crystals and save the realm of Luxendark from apocalyptic doom. The star of the show remains its revolutionary Brave and Default combat system, which flips traditional turn-based strategy on its head. Defaulting lets a character defend while banking BP for future turns, while Braving allows you to borrow up to 4 turns at once to unleash a devastating barrage of attacks or heals in a single round, pairing that clever turn economy with a deep job system where you can freely combine abilities from dozens of distinct classes like black mages, valkyries, and ninjas creates endless opportunities for broken custom party builds. Hand-painted town backgrounds look stunning in crisp, high resolution, running at a buttery 60 frames per second alongside quality of life additions like encounter rate sliders and auto battle controls. Navigating the single screen transition feels surprisingly natural, preserving all the original charm, Akihiko Yoshida's iconic chibi art direction, and Revo's legendary rock-infused soundtrack. Turn-based enthusiasts who missed this masterpiece the first time around now have zero excuses to skip one of the single best modern JRPGs ever created. Locking an entire monster-catching adventure inside the boundaries of a single sprawling metropolis sounds like a crazy shift for this series. But Pokemon Legends ZA transforms Lumio's city into a massive, vibrant playground, set during a high-stakes urban redevelopment project aimed at making the city a sanctuary where humans and monsters live together in total harmony. You navigate glowing boulevards, hidden alleyways, and lush rooftop parks. Action-packed real-time traversal lets you dash across busy streets and vault over barricades while tossing Pokeballs directly at wild creatures roaming urban plazas. The absolute biggest highlight for longtime fans is the grand return of Mega Evolutions, bringing back flashy battle transformations that add tons of theatrical hype to every major battle against rival trainers and Rogue Plaza wild monsters. Instead of trekking between distant towns, exploration feels densely packed, forcing you to climb apartment balconies, explore underground drainage tunnels, and complete dynamic side quests for eccentric city residents. Managing your battle team while navigating a living, breathing urban environment creates a refreshing gameplay tempo that feels different from traditional route crawling journeys. Seeing giant wild Pokemon casually nesting on top of skyscraper ledges or lurking inside botanical gardens keeps the city exploration endlessly entertaining, packing in dynamic combat, deep nostalgia, and a unique urban setting. This spin-off proves that downsizing the map to one incredible city can actually make the adventure feel bigger than ever before. Handing down an entire empire's throne across centuries of bloodlines while fighting corrupted legendary heroes makes romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven one of the most uniquely ambitious RPG remakes ever made, rebuilding the 1993 classic into a full 3D tactical adventure. You play as a succession of emperors ruling the Varennes Empire. The main threat comes from the seven heroes, ancient world saviors who return from another dimension corrupted into horrifying demonic monstrosities. What makes the gameplay brilliant is the inheritance system. Whenever your active emperor falls in battle or dies of old age, their abilities, stat boosts, and sword techniques pass directly down to the next chosen heir. This means you're constantly building a generational legacy, expanding your imperial borders, funding new research facilities, and unlocking custom squad formations. Strategic turn-based combat utilizes a timeline order display, where landing strikes with specific weapons triggers the iconic glimmering effect, sparking brand new character abilities right in the middle of chaotic encounters. Non-linear story decisions mean the order in which you conquer territories or face the seven heroes alters how the world evolves across generations. Watching a small kingdom grow into a massive superpower over hundreds of in-game years while passing powerful martial arts techniques down your family tree gives this tactical adventure an unmatched sense of epic scope, proving that classic non-linear RPG design holds up tremendously well today.
1 and 2 HD 2D Remake is coming soon.
Huzzah!
Returning to where the entire console role-playing genre originally started, Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake gives the foundational adventures that birthed a legendary franchise a breathtaking visual rebirth. Finishing up the iconic Erdrick trilogy alongside its predecessor, this twin package reimagines the ancient retro classics using gorgeous diorama-style pixel art, dynamic lighting, and tilt-shift depth of field effects. In the first adventure, you step into the lone boots of Erdrick's descendant on a heroic solo quest to rescue a princess and slay the evil Dragon Lord. The second chapter jumps forward in time, expanding the scale massively as three royal cousins team up to travel across oceans, explore vast continents, and stop a dark cult from resurrecting an apocalyptic titan. Turn-based combat keeps its nostalgic charm while receiving vital modern upgrades like battle speed toggles, autosave features, and rebalanced difficulty curves that strip away hours of outdated grinding. Fighting iconic blue slimes, exploring hidden treasure caves, and listening to Koichi Sugiyama's legendary orchestrated symphonic score feels like stepping inside a living fairy tale storybook. Quality of life improvements make navigating overworld maps and managing inventory smooth and painless without losing any of the nostalgic warmth that made these games immortal. Perfect for longtime series veterans wanting to relive gaming history or newcomers seeking a pure fantasy adventure. This HD 2D double feature proves that simple, elegant fantasy storytelling and classic turn-based RPG combat will never lose their magic. When you spend your entire childhood on a quiet little island believing you live on the only landmass left in the universe, finding a mysterious shrine packed with glowing stone tablets is bound to derail your fishing career. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined takes one of the most notoriously gargantuan role-playing adventures ever conceived and gives it a breathtaking diorama art overhaul alongside much-needed pacing fixes. You play as a humble fisherman's son who, along with his reckless royal buddy, starts gathering ancient slate fragments to travel back through time and unlock forgotten continents. Discovering that every single erased landmass in the past was destroyed by some bizarre local tragedy turns you into a full-time historical therapist before you even get to enjoy the present day. The star of this remake is the genius new moonlighting mechanic, allowing your heroes to level up two distinct vocations simultaneously so you can stack absurd passive perks without grinding until retirement. Combat stays delightfully fast, with quality of life additions like instant field kills on underleveled monsters. You can steamroll trash mobs without stopping your momentum. Between Akira Toriyama's timeless monster designs, charming miniature town modeling, and a streamlined story that respects your actual free time, repairing a shattered world stone by stone feels genuinely rewarding. You get all the classic melancholic charm and epic scope of the original masterpiece without feeling like you need a sabbatical from work just to reach the middle chapter. Escaping the destruction of Earth only to crash land on an insanely gorgeous hostile alien planet sounds like a terrible Tuesday, but it sets up one of the most ambitious open-world sci-fi RPGs ever created. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition finally rescues this cult masterpiece from Wii U obscurity, refining its massive alien playground of Planet Mira with crisp modern visuals, overhauled user interfaces, and brand new story chapters. You play as a custom human survivor in New Los Angeles, tasked with exploring 5 vast, seamless continents filled with bizarre indigenous wildlife and towering alien landmarks. Traversal starts on foot with absurdly high jumping mechanics, but the real magic hits once you earn your skill, a massive transformable mech suit that lets you drive across alien oceans or soar directly into the clouds. Combat is a deep, fast-paced rhythm of position-based arts, soul voices, and high-octane overdrive chains that reward smart squad synergy. This definitive edition strips away annoying retro hurdles by removing tedious skill check grinding, smoothing out inventory management, and even giving you full control over flight soundtrack options so your ears stay happy while cruising over bioluminescent forests. Running into a level 90 tyrant monster early on teaches you healthy respect for the environment, but coming back later inside a weaponized robot to deliver payback is pure satisfaction. It stands as an absolute triumph of scale, exploration, and mech customization that JRPG fans cannot afford to miss.
Nothing like you. Sin is for the weak. The powerful care only
Smashed
for
burning
God.
iron masks, flaming broadswords, and high-voltage anime drama collide to make Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn Edition. The ultimate way to experience this stellar action RPG. This complete package packs in the full baseline journey alongside its massive narrative expansion, continuing the story of Alphen and Xion after they successfully broke 3 centuries of brutal oppression between planets Dana and Rena. Real-time combat remains an absolute blast, focusing on flashy combos, dodging incoming strikes, and triggering cinematic boost attacks, where party members team up to vaporize giant boss armor in seconds. What makes this edition essential for fans is how the Beyond the Dawn expansion actually deals with the messy aftermath of merging 2 totally different cultures into one world. Instead of riding off into a peaceful sunset, Alphen's crew ends up navigating political tensions, helping deeply mistrustful citizens rebuild their ruined towns, and protecting a mysterious young girl named Nazamil who gets caught in the crossfire of lingering hatred. Exploring fresh, lush landscapes and tackling challenging new boss encounters keeps your sword arm busy, while campfire chats between the core cast deliver plenty of warm humor and heart. Balancing intense action combat with genuine character growth transforms what could have been a simple post-game epilogue into a vital final chapter. Anyone who loves slick action mechanics and deep anime storytelling will find this expanded package packed with relentless excitement and satisfying action from start to finish. Balancing high school reality with saving 2 entire dimensions from catastrophic collapse sounds like a nightmare, but Digimon Storytime Stranger turns that chaotic premise into a deeply addictive monster-taming RPG. You play as a human protagonist whose quiet life gets upended when reality starts unraveling, forcing you to travel back and forth between the real world and the digital world to investigate a terrifying, world-ending timeline glitch. Core gameplay revolves around collecting, hatching, and raising an enormous roster of digital monsters, featuring the franchise's legendary, ultra-deep branching Digivolution tree. You get total freedom to devolve and re-digivolve your monsters to min-max their stats, load them up with specialized elemental moves, and build an unstoppable turn-based battle squad. Combat is clean, fast, and highly strategic, forcing you to exploit attribute matchups, status ailments, and party synergy while fighting rogue mega-level threats across glitching digital landscapes. What gives this story its soul is the deep emotional bond between human partners and their digital companions, exploring how mutual trust fuels power upgrades when everything falls apart. Between exploring rain-slicked Japanese city streets, crawling through surreal digital dungeons, and managing your custom Digimon farm like a surprisingly devoted digital parent, the pacing stays tight and constantly rewarding. Longtime Monster Collector fans and JRPG lovers who have been waiting for a serious, narrative-heavy Digimon adventure will find themselves obsessed with unraveling every timeline mystery this incredible journey has to offer.
Okay everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you liked that video, please leave a like and subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to get notified when we release new content. We hope to see you in the next video.